Okay. Hello, I'm John Vasey. Welcome to our virtual pre-bid meeting. I'm hosting. Please forgive us if there's any technological glitches. This is my first meeting working through this, so I have some capable assistants here, so we'll do this. I have on the screen our agenda that I have put together for this meeting. I have also posted that on our website. It is also up on BidNet as well, or I have sent an email to WCCA, so they may or may not have gotten it. It's just been sent recently, so I will go ahead and start working through this agenda. Just as a quick introduction, I said I am John Vasey. I will be the project engineer on this project. I'll be the guy dealing with all the bid documents and everything out on the project site. Sam Atkins, he is participating in this meeting virtually on his computer. He is the city engineer. Chris Damel also works in our office. He's been helping me, or helping a lot with this project. He may be able to answer some questions, but he is at his desk as well, so participating in this meeting. Moving on down, we generally have an attendance sheet on these that we make everyone sign in. This is not an mandatory meeting because it is a virtual meeting. We will make this recording of the meeting available online after this, so that if anyone is not available to be here or has not been able to sign in, they will be able to get access to this meeting. So it is not a mandatory requirement at this time. Any bidding and agenda correspondence will be going through, or we'll post on the city website with the bid information that's already up there. We will send it all to WCCA as well and provide it to BidNet Direct. So those are our three outlets for this information. So you can obtain any information that comes out after this on those three spots. If you would like direct email contacts, you can email your information to me at jvasey@fruta.org, and then I will ensure that you receive an email with this information. As far as project management goes, the project was designed by Envision Design Studios. They put together the plan set for this. The construction management will be handled by the city of Fruta, and all the construction inspection as well will be completed by the city of Fruta. So primarily myself will be handling that. To give you a brief summary of the project and the general scope, there will be some fill placement for this in the roundabouts. The material is available at the City Lagoon property. We will provide the material, but the successful contractor will need to make arrangements to load that and transport it to the roundabouts. If you're not familiar with the City of Fruta, our Lagoon property is just down the road from the south roundabout. So it is very easy access to the roundabout. So that we will be making the material available there. There is a drip irrigation system that has to be installed for this project, solar powered low voltage lighting, sculpture foundation structures. And I did receive a question on that, which I will address later on in this meeting. There's landscape rock, vegetation plantings, which again will be addressed later on in this meeting. staining of the existing concrete retaining wall, and we have included the setting of 2 large sculptures for this project. There's a total of 6 sculptures that are designed for this project. We anticipate 2 of them to be ready by the time this project is being done. So that is something we will include in this project. Again, we received some questions on that, and so we will be addressing pay items and bid items for those sculptures with an addendum that will be subsequent to this meeting. And the construction schedule, this is something that we all need to be aware of. Our pre-bid meeting is today, obviously happening now. The question deadline is tomorrow, Wednesday, October 14th at 12 o'clock noon. We will be issuing an additional addenda with this outline and all the information that comes with it. And then any questions that come in through this meeting and subsequent to this, prior to that deadline. I hope to have that issued by Wednesday evening, the close of business Wednesday, but we've given ourselves until Thursday to get it done. So we'll get that addenda issued as soon as we can, and so that you have as much time as possible before our bid opening. The bid opening is scheduled for Friday, October 16th. And again, since this is a virtual meeting, if anyone has any questions or reservations with that time frame, please feel free to raise your hand or communicate with us, and there is possibility of extending that bid opening date, but we would like to keep that as Friday if possible. But we would, if it does need to be changed, we would address that with the addenda coming out. Notice of award, we're expecting on Monday, October 19th. And then, well, I guess I skipped over the bid opening. That is Friday, October 16th at 1:30 p.m. That's when all the bids are due. So, and then the bid opening will be another virtual meeting. That information was sent out with the addendum 1. So if you go to our addendum 1, you will be able to find that information and be able to log in and participate in that meeting. And then the contract, the signing and the notice to proceed, we've got listed as the week of October 19th. That it may take a little longer than that by the time contractors get their all their insurance and everything done. So we're hoping to do it that weekend or that week, but if it doesn't happen, that's not a big deal. We will work through that and work with the successful contractor to get that done. And just put the beginning of the work will be as soon as practical. We would like to get this project going and get as much of it done as soon as we can. In the bid, the construction or the contract documents, we did list a substantial completion date of January 29th with a project completion of February 12th. So those are a couple of dates that we will be discussing here as we go down through our schedule notes. So moving on down this, our agenda, the notes that I put in here, there are no incentives for early completion of this project. Now, we did establish this schedule without the consideration of all the vegetation planting. That is a huge consideration on this project, so we will need to take that into account. The substantial completion date that we have in there provides 70 working days from the time that we were listed as, of giving you a notice to proceed of October 19th, I believe it was, through that January 29th. That was 70 working days. So the intent is to provide you 70 working days and taking the holidays into account. Once we get a contractor on site, we want you to get started and do as much of the work as possible prior to needing to put plants in the ground, and then we'll shut the project down, stop the contract time, and then come back when irrigation water is available and the plantings can be done and the plants are available in the spring, then restart the contract and get that final portion done. That's the intent of the project, is to get as much done as possible and then shut it down, come back later in the spring of 2021 once the irrigation water comes on and get the plantings in, so that we can have irrigation water to give the plants as good a chance at survival as possible. Permitting on this project, the city of Fruita has obtained the special use permit that was included in the contract documents. That is there for your review and perusal, so you're aware of what that contains. The traffic control, there will be traffic control on this, and CDOT will require that. So we'll need to, once we have a successful contractor, we'll need to work with them and get this information to CDOT so that they know what we intend to do there. The insurance requirements for this project, the city of Fruita requires $500,000 in workman's compensation, $1 million in the comprehensive general liability, and $1 million in comprehensive automobile liability. The CDOT requirements, they require the workman's compensation. There's no dollar amount applied to that as far as I'm aware. The commercial general liability of $1 million, automobile liability of $1 million. CDOT also requires pollution legal liability of $1 million and an umbrella or excess liability of $1 million for work out there. So be aware of those insurance requirements. As far as the bidding requirements and submittals, each bid will be evaluated for their responsiveness to this, and according to the checklist that I've included in here, it's got to be included with the bid opening. You got to have a bid bond, your insurance certificate showing that you've got the workman's compensation, liability, and automotive coverage that we require. You've got to acknowledge any addenda that have come out, and we will address some changes, which I'll follow with when I get to questions down below. But we will be issuing another addenda, and I will have another bid schedule that will have a line where you can acknowledge those addenda. So that will be made simple for you. If you have any problems with our contract and you would like to have any changes made to that, you need to submit all those requested changes at the time of your bid submittal. Make sure you sign your bid form and make sure that it has a total base bid amount filled in, so we can have that. We do reserve the right to waive any minor discrepancies in form and content of the bids, but their minimum requirements for responsiveness must be met. And any missing items from the checklist that is included above on that agenda is cause for rejection of the entire bid. and we have done that in the past. So if a bid is rejected, it will not be read. And then the intent is to select the contractor that is most qualified for this work and has the lowest bid. So the bid is the primary factor in this, the lowest bid. Now at this point, we go to the discussion and addenda items. That is a blank sheet at this time, but I will go down to, I did receive some questions prior to this meeting. So to address those, there was a question about there's no footer detail provided for the tractor sculpture. Can we please clarify? I have not received any clarification on that at this time. We will be providing that with addendum number 2. So we will get with the appropriate designers for that and make sure that we have that included with the addenda. As far as the sculpture mounting goes, there's no line item in the bidding, in the current bid. We will add a line item to that, so we will modify our bid schedule. So make sure you utilize the bid schedule that will be coming out with addenda number 2, and we will make sure that that's accounted for. As far as the mounting anchors and details and specs go, the intent in our discussion with the artist on the sculptures is that the sculptures are not prepared. We do not have anything at this time for the bolt layout. So the intent is to build the concrete footers without anchors, and then when the sculptures are delivered, we will get a bolt pattern that matches the sculpture and have to drill in those anchors at that time. And then the unloading and moving recommendations for that, once again, I will get some additional information to provide that clarification in the next addenda. At this time, I will go ahead and open things up. So if you have any further questions, please feel free to raise your hand, and my assistant here, Shannon, will open things up for you.
Okay, John, we have received a few questions in the chat, as well as someone has raised their hand. Phone caller ending in 5317. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, and you can ask your question. Please make sure that you're not muted on your end as well. Are you there?
Yeah.
Perfect.
This is Daryl with Clark & Company. And my question was on the solar panels will be installed by somebody else for the low voltage lighting.
Now, as I understand it, the whole system should be installed, or that will need to be arranged for, I guess, through this contract. So the solar panels should be included in the what you are supplying, what the contractor is supplying. Now, I have not reviewed things that closely as far as the solar installation goes, but I believe that is something that is supposed to be designed and provided by the, either the contractor or a subcontractor to you. And I do know that I had received a question or an email from an electrician that wanted to provide their services to those people that were providing bids. So they had requested to be on the bidders list, and they will be obtaining the information from the bidders on this. So I guess I would encourage everyone to ensure that I have your contact information that I can include in the in our agenda, and or with the information for a bidders list to come out with this addenda. So I would encourage you to send me an email to that jvacey@fruta.org to ensure I have your contact information and we get you on a bidders list to provide. Okay, does that make sense to you, Daryl? Hello, are you still there?
Still there. Ready for the next question, John?
Yeah.
All right, next question. Will bids be accepted by email or in person?
No, you can email those, email the bids. Again, use that jvacey@fruta.org. We will accept email submittals on this. They do not need to be made in person due to the COVID considerations so.
Okay, next question. Again, if anyone would like to ask a question, they can leave it in the chat, or they can hit raise hand and they will be unmuted. The raise hand button is at the bottom of your screen, and if you dialed in on phone, you can hit *9 to alert us that you'd like to ask a question. Next question, is there a consideration to extend the bid date?
We can consider that, and that's if there are issues, I guess I would with this time frame, I would like to know what those what the considerations are from your end. But yes, we would certainly consider that, and know that this was a fast time frame on this. We are anxious to move this project forward, but we certainly will consider extending the bid date if that is deemed too short. So too short a time frame. So I would encourage you to, again, send me an email to that jvacey@fruta.org with your concerns on that time frame, and we can certainly consider that with this addenda 2 that will be coming out. I guess since you posed that question, I would ask you to, if you can, respond with a time frame that you see, that you deem would be appropriate, since you consider this one to be too short.
All right, and it looks like we do have a clarification on that question. It says, my consideration would be that the electrical and solar panel quotes have been challenging to obtain.
Okay. Okay, well, that's, yeah, we will certainly take that into account and see what we need to do to move forward.
And we also have another clarification from Chris Damel. It says solar system to be provided and installed by the contractor.
Okay.
Next question, can we know what the budget number is for this project?
No, we generally do not let the budget numbers out during the bidding process. So that is not a number that we are willing to share at this moment.
All right, thanks. We do have one more question. And again, for all attendees, if you'd like to ask a question, you can place it in the chat below, or you can raise your hand, which is the raise hand button is found at the bottom of your toolbar. Or if you called in, you can hit *9 to let us know that you'd like to raise your hand. Next question, John, will this be a tax exempt job?
Yes, it is a tax exempt. The city of Fruita is a tax exempt entity, and so yes, it will be tax exempt. We can provide our tax exempt certificate to the successful bidder.
All right, and it looks like we have someone who raised their hand. I will go ahead and unmute you now. Please make sure that you're unmuted on your end as well.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I sure can.
I'm sorry, this is Joel. I had a 1 o'clock. Joel was CDOT and my coworker Alan. We had a 1 o'clock that we just got out of. So I hope, if anybody has any questions from our end, let me know and we'll go from there.
Okay, are you just joining us now?
I am just joining right now.
Okay, so just for your benefit, since you were not able, just to make sure that you are aware of what I shared with everyone else, we have provided, or the city of Fruita has obtained the special use permit from CDOT, which was provided in the special use permit. And the successful contractor will need to provide a traffic control plan as to how they're going to complete this work within the CDOT right of way to CDOT for your approval. And then the insurance requirements were, they've got to provide workman's compensation. I do not have a value on that that CDOT requires. The city of Fruita requires $500,000 for that, but CDOT requirements also require for commercial general liability of $1 million, automobile liability of $1 million, pollution legal liability of $1 million.
You can take that off.
Okay, so the pollution is off.
Yeah, that's for any that doesn't make any sense for this.
Okay. And then an umbrella or excess liability of $1 million.
I would worry about, that's all I need to have is those three, and then they can have their own workman's comp. I don't have to see the workman's comp, but
Okay.
it's the general liability, the automobile, and the umbrella. We can't expect the artist to have all that stuff, but the contractors, of course, normally will.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, thank you, Joel. I'll go ahead and leave you on here for the time being. Please let us know if there's anything else you'd like to add. Next question for John, where is the staging area?
That is a very good question. We will come up with an answer for you in the agenda, in the addenda that comes out subsequent to this meeting. I do not know, but I would anticipate that maybe our lagoon property might be the simplest, which is at the end of Raptor Road.
John, this is Sam, and I would say yes, that they would be able to use the lagoon property for staging. If there's any other areas that they would like to stage, they'd have to work that out with the private property owners.
Okay.
Great, thanks, Sam. Next question, because of addendum 2, may bids be accepted Friday or Monday? I believe that's the question. If you want to clarify, it says Friday of Monday, but.
Yeah, that's the original schedule was to open bids this Friday, but we can certainly extend that out to the following Monday. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sam, but I don't think we have any issues with that. It sounds like there are some issues with the getting electrical quotes. So I can get information out with this addenda as far as whoever with the name of electricians that have contacted me up to this point. but I don't have that name in front of me, so I am reluctant to share it right now. But,
So John, I think we can go ahead and extend the bid date to Wednesday. Hopefully that gives everyone enough time to get their subquotes in. And I don't think that really is going to affect this one way or the other. And we'll definitely get that in the addenda so that it is clear. It's not just me saying it verbally in this meeting.
okay, so that changes our bid date to Wednesday. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but
21st.
it would be, yes, that would make sense. The 21st. That would be 1 week from the deadline date. But we will maintain Wednesday, October 14th as our deadline for questions. So we will make that bid opening October 21st. Okay.
All right, next question. Can the road be closed for certain periods of work?
No. For what work? Why would the road need to be closed? Crane work?
We'll wait for a clarification on that question now and move on to the next question if the participant who submitted that question would like to provide some additional clarification.
And yeah, and clarify what road they want closed. 340, I-70 frontage road, or what?
Thank you. Next question, the plant schedule appears to vary from the bid form. Which should we use?
I will have to review that bid form to confirm that, but the intent is to have the plants that are shown on the plans. So the plans will control over the bid form. And if there is a discrepancy with the bid form, we will try to correct that with this addenda 2 that is coming out.
Okay. Next question, John, is there a maintenance period?
Maintenance period, as far as maintaining the plants, I will have to get back with you. I will research that and provide an answer with the addenda.
All right, and to go back to that previous question about potential road closures, it looks like the clarification is yes, to use the telehandler for lifting and sculptures / footers.
Okay, so that would be, they want to close the road to lift the sculptures onto the platforms. So again, I will have to do some research on that and provide a response to that with the addenda.
So, hey, John, I'm going to chime in there a little bit.
Yeah.
Closing the road. There's 2 lanes there. They can close a lane down. We don't have a problem with that. Plus, they have that apron. But there's probably not a possibility at all for closing the entire road. I don't know why they would need to.
Okay.
I don't have a, maybe the question was, can we close a lane? So just, find out what it is. If it's a lane closure, of course, but not a full road closure.
Right. I would agree that we would need some kind of traffic control to maintain traffic flow through that area, or if it requires flaggers or whatever is required to set the sculptures, then, so.
Yeah, it looks like, to clarify, it says a lane is great. Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. Again, before we move on to additional questions, if you'd like to ask a question, you may do so in the chat, or you can raise your hand by dialing *9 if you called in on the phone, or by hitting the raise hand button on the bottom of your screen. Next question, hours of work. Can night work be done on this project?
I will have to get back with you, but I would anticipate we would want the work to be completed during daylight hours as much as practical to eliminate any problems with lighting and oncoming traffic and the potential hazards with that. But I will confirm that, and we'll have an answer in the addenda. But I would anticipate we would want the work done during the day.
Next question, John, will the GPS model be made available or do we need to provide one?
I do not know that a GPS model is available. We can provide what was provided to us, but that did require, it was completed in a, I guess, in an architectural format, and that had to be modified to our computers or our system. So I don't know that we would have anything to provide to you for that. So.
All right, it looks like that is all of the questions, unless there are any final ones that come in. I don't know if you want to wait a little bit longer. Again, that's *9 if you called in on your phone, or you can hit the raise hand button on the bottom of your screen.
John, to answer your question, and as far as CDOT, we wouldn't be against nighttime work. That would have to be all approved through the town and the ordinances that you guys have for nighttime work and construction.
Okay. Well, thank you, Joel, for that clarification. And I will, we will research that and have a solid answer when the addenda is issued.
Looks like that is all of our questions, John.
Okay. Well, I would like to thank everyone for your participation and your questions with this meeting today. And feel free to provide any additional questions by the question deadline. We will incorporate those into the addenda, and I look forward to moving this project forward. Thank you.